The first years of life are of the greatest importance in the development of every child. Children make the best progress if provided with love, care and attention within their own families. In order for parents to carry out this beautiful and responsible task in the best possible manner, they need support. Polyvalent visiting nurses can provide such support. Through their work within the family, they are there to empower parents to recognise and fulfil the needs of their children. Visiting nurses enter people's homes at the happiest and the most important moment for each family. From the mother's pregnancy to the child's 5th year, the nurses assist and advise, and they are the link between the family and the healthcare and welfare services, and other community-based services depending on each family's needs.
The work of visiting nurses begins with family planning, and then they provide support when the baby is born, which is health education on one hand and managing the baby's state of health on the other hand, as well as skills acquisition. And we shouldn't forget that in cooperation with paediatricians, the visiting nurse service deals both with infants and with school and preschool children, which is important for the work with paediatricians.
In Serbia, for several decades now, home visits to families have been organised by the polyvalent visiting nurse service present in all the health centres. With the support of UNICEF, the EU and the Canadian government, the Serbian Ministry of Health has considerably improved the home visiting programme from a predominantly medical approach to a health promotion approach. The activities performed during home visits and the manner of carrying out such visits are defined in the Manual for Polyvalent Nurses. The first contact between the family and the visiting nurse usually takes place at the home of the pregnant woman. The nurse examines the living conditions and the readiness for parenthood and provides the necessary support and advice on breastfeeding, baby care and preparation for the delivery. This is how the pregnant woman and her visiting nurse meet, so that the woman knows who will help her after she leaves the maternity ward. Zlata will also see Roxanda again at the School for Pregnant Women and Parenting. Exercises for pregnant women help dispel her fears and prepare her for the birth. After the delivery, when mother and baby arrive home, the visiting nurse has already been informed about it, because it is common practice for the addresses of new mothers to be forwarded to the visiting nurse service when they are released from hospital. In Belgrade, such communication is carried out through the work of the telephone counselling service Alo Beba. Visiting nurses and paediatric nurses provide advice on children's health to parents and family members 24 hours a day. This counselling centre also sends to health centres on a daily basis information on mothers who are released from maternity wards, so that the visiting nurse can pay a home visit on the following day. Through media promotion, this counselling centre has become a well-known national brand.
The following day, nurse Sonja Milenkovic came and showed us some things regarding baby care. Bathing, breastfeeding technique, mother-baby communication, psychological and motor development, and a lot of other things we needed to know at the beginning.
Visiting nurses give advice to mothers, support them and pay attention to their psychological well-being and relationship with their babies. Based on information and impressions about the family, visiting nurses contact paediatricians, specialists, social services, non-governmental organisations and others.
Yesterday I visited Ivanka. She's given birth to a baby boy. Everything went well at the maternity ward and she is recovering nicely. But I think it's necessary for us to go together to see what she needs and to help her as best we can.
The visiting nurse service cooperates with families during the entire period of early childhood development until the child turns 5. During the first year, parents are advised on the timely introduction of nutritious foods in addition to breast milk. the infant's daily regime and stimulation for development. Nurses show parents how to play with their children and how to talk and sing to them. And when the child is a little older, the nurse comes again and talks with the parents about early development, good nutrition and regular physical activities. And she is also there to provide advice on preparing the child for preschool enrollment. The nurse makes sure that parenting is responsible and that the environment in which the child is developing is safe and risk-free. In the case that a visiting nurse detects any sign indicating abuse or neglect, she follows procedures envisaged in special protocols. Families which have greater needs are visited more often. As far as vulnerable families are concerned, visiting nurses are members of teams that are involved in solving various issues. In Roma settlements, health mediators work together with the visiting nurses. Through joint efforts, they help families solve the problems which they may encounter. They provide support to mothers and families so that the conditions can be created for children to get the best start in the first years of life. Visiting nurses in Serbia are family friends. They link parents with the providers of all the services they need. Every day they make home visits in order to help provide every child with the opportunity to grow up healthy and to realize his or her full potential.